fans, this is TheSkullKlown.
Hello YouTube fans, this is TheSkullKlown here to talk about Kefka being in Kingdom Hearts 3. Here's why. The reason I think Kefka should be in Kingdom Hearts 3 is because his character, if you played Final Fantasy VI, you would know what the hell I'm talking about. And for crying out loud, they put Kefka in Union Cross. So, and they put other Final Fantasy bosses there too. But when you really think about it, it's like, in a way, all these Final Fantasy bosses are in the Kingdom Hearts world, just they look like heartlesses and, you know, maybe nobodies, but mostly heartlesses, because Kefka has like a heartless symbol, and I think one Final Fantasy boss, I think it's Gilgamesh. Most likely Gilgamesh is in Union Cross, because I think there's a clip of that, but most likely he's in Union Cross and he has the heartless, but if not, it's probably some other Final Fantasy boss that has that. I don't think Sephiroth is in Union Cross, but I know Kefka is. But the reason I even talked about this is because Kefka becomes literally a god in the game. And he literally takes over heaven and hell and becomes a god. And, well, he conquers heaven, hell, purgatory. And he becomes a god. You know? And it's not like he did it on purpose. It's not like he wanted to do it. Kefka is one of those villains that just wanted to destroy the world. And if he went to godhood, then that's just icing on the cake. For crying out loud, in Final Fantasy VI, when you kill him, he doesn't say anything. He doesn't say no final war, no final anything. Mostly every Final Fantasy boss, when they die, they say something. But with Kefka, he admitted defeat. How many Final Fantasy bosses can do that, in my opinion? And the reason I do mention that, too, that Kefka should be in the Kingdom Hearts 3, mainly because, either for DLC or something like that, because it makes sense to put Kefka in Kingdom Hearts 3. Why? Again, like I said, going back to what his character is in Final Fantasy VI, you know? And Sora dies more than once in this game. He dies twice. He dies in the Caribbean War, he dies after he saves Kairi, you know? So, there are two options you could have had there, guys. There's two options you could have had, Square. You could have had them fighting Kefka in a secret area in the Caribbean, or a secret boss fight in a Skylight Asylum. But they made a Skylight Asylum short as fuck. But they're all clips of a Skylight Asylum looking like it was about to be, like you could roam around in it. And newsflash, there are videos out there that the Keyblade Graveyard looks like you can roam around in that too. So who knows? Maybe Square will release those as DLCs or a patch of a Skylight Asylum expanded, and also the Keyblade Graveyard expanded, because those are two places that are expanded. And when you especially go to the Keyblade Graveyard and you roam around, like, out of bounds and all that, there's like a text that pops out and says that, oh, you gotta go here. And it's like, well, are we meant, like, you see the objective, and you never see that objective in the game. So that kind of tells you that supposedly the Keyblade Graveyard is supposed to be more extended. And the reason I mention that is because you can have those Final Fantasy boss fights like Kefka. Imagine having what Kefka is and fighting his forms like in Final Fantasy VI in the Keyblade Graveyard. Or at Skylight Asylum before you fight Sephiroth, you know? Like you're going inside the buildings and shit, you know? That'd be pretty cool. Who knows what Square would do with a Skylight Asylum and the Keyblade Graveyard in the future. Hopefully they do expand it with DLCs or a patch, because there's proof that, there is literally proof on YouTube that those worlds could have been massive, and I mean massive, huge, you know? So, bigger than any other worlds that we went in the Kingdom Hearts 3 game. So before I do end this, I just want to show what more I'm really talking about here. I am going to show a clip of Kefka from Union Cross and from Final Fantasy VI, just to, you know, make my point here. So, here we go. I love the way Kefka looks in this game, and it does make sense if you fight his other forms before you fight this form. And you can see that there's like little tiny heartlesses right next to him. And that'd be kind of cool if those little heartlesses kind of resemble hell, purgatory, and heaven, you know? And almost they kind of do a little bit, but not all that much. But it looks really dope, Kefka right here. And I mean, I'm not going to talk about the gameplay in Union Cross, you can really see it right here. But I think this is really cool, and the fact that they made Kefka look like this in Union Cross was really dope. And I really want him to be in Kingdom Hearts 3. Just imagine him looking like this in Kingdom Hearts 3, and you hear his song. It's epic. For crying out loud, Dancing Mad is like one of the best Final Fantasy songs ever made. Better than One Winged Angel. I am dead serious. But, I mean, but you can't beat the final boss of Final Fantasy VIII. You just can't. But anyways, moving on. This boss needs to be in the game. Just because it resembles everything that Sora has went through in the game. Kefka is literally the representation of what Sora has went through in Kingdom Hearts 3. Yes, I'm not saying Sora is an evil person and everything like that, but he does have darkness inside of him. And anyone can have darkness inside of them, you know? Where there's light, there's darkness, you know? In Kingdom Hearts, and obviously in real life too. But it would make it more efficient if you had Kefka there to even, you know, hit the nail of the coffin of what Sora's going through. You know, that's why I loved single boss fights, even if it was just like a little side thing, like in Kingdom Hearts 1, you know, with Xemnas and shit. This boss fight, all I have to say is Square needs to like make versions of the Kefka boss fight like this in the game. Imagine having a Coliseum fighting Kefka forms before you fight how he is in Union Cross. That'd be freaking dope. I really would like it, you know? And obviously we got the representation of the devil right here in Final Fantasy 6. So that's really what it is right there. That's the devil in hell, basically. Which is, again, if you really think of what Kefka really is, you'd be like, how come Kefka is not in Kingdom Hearts 3? Because it makes so much sense for that character and that character to be in Kingdom Hearts 3. Because, you know, we usually have other characters, like Sephiroth, you know? Usually Sephiroth will kind of fit in the game or something like that. Another one is, again, Xemnas. But how great would it have been if they had Kefka in Kingdom Hearts 3? Just because Sora goes through a lot in that game. I mean, for crying out loud, like I mentioned before, he dies in the Caribbean, and he dies after he gets Kairi. So wouldn't it be kind of, you know, makes sense after you beat the game? There's like a Coliseum with all these boss fights that you beat, but there's like another boss fight that kind of ties in with the game a bit, and maybe there's a little bit of a cutscene. Doesn't have to be like a main thing of the game, but can show of how much Sora has slipped basically away, and then him being dead. You know, it's almost like that. And I could just imagine Sora literally going through these stages before he goes back to the realm of light, you know? I can literally see him go through it, literally go through hell, purgatory, and then heaven, and then fighting this being, which is Kefka. You know? I can literally imagine that. And if they did put Kefka there as like that evil being that's in purgatory, heaven, and hell to defeat, to have Sora just to leave the realm of darkness, just to go to the realm of light, or, you know, because it's kind of cool, because when you think about it, Kefka's forms are literally the realm of light, the realm between, and the realm of darkness. That is what Kefka's forms are. It is amazing when you really think about it. It is just one of the best things about Final Fantasy 6, for that matter, because Final Fantasy 6, there's a lot of things that kind of, you look at Kingdom Hearts 3 and you be like, it doesn't do as much as like what Final Fantasy 6 does, obviously, because it's different, obviously. But the aspect of life and death and everything like that is almost still there in Final Fantasy 6, you know, like, it's not going to beat you over the head with it, obviously. It's most likely Final Fantasy 15, is with life and death and all that crap. But with Kefka is the person that does that whole death and life shit. Why? Because he destroys so many people in the game, And he doesn't care about any person's life but his own, you know? So, in a way, he's kind of like David in the Prometheus and Alien Covenant movies. So, it's really, really dope. It's crazy. And I just want to say one thing here. How great would it have been if once Sora hits the heaven stage, you know, before he actually faces Kefka, God, basically, you know, he sees Kefka right there, basically, because, you know, that's Kefka. But wouldn't it be crazy if that Mary right behind Kefka is actually Kairi, because Kairi died? That would be fucking crazy. Because imagine, so basically, I'm basically trying to say that wouldn't it be cool if when Sora's getting Kairi, he's actually facing Kefka. And he has to get her by facing Kefka. You know? And most people are like, you just basically saying Kefka is the final boss for Kingdom Hearts 3. You know what? In a way, if Sora has to go through it, fuck it. And Square has the great opportunity to do it. And the thing is, it doesn't have to be Kefka. They can make a new villain that does the same thing like Kefka. You know? And paid homages to maybe a little bit what Sora's going through in the game. I would love it. I think it's awesome. I think it would be pretty cool. How great would that be? That's just me. But this is just my thoughts and my take on it. So what do you guys think? I think it would be pretty dope to have Kefka in Kingdom Hearts 3 as a secret boss. Just because his backstory in Final Fantasy VI in the game. And also if you really connect it with Kingdom Hearts 3 of what Sora actually goes through. It's really, when you really think about it, it's like, huh, that would be pretty. So that's really it. So what do you guys really think about Kefka being in Kingdom Hearts 3? What do you think about why not have him in Kingdom Hearts 3, you know? Especially if we're going to get like DLCs and all that and pack and like DLCs and new stuff, like maybe new summons, maybe new Keyblades, which we all going to get, I heard. But if we all going to get those things, might as well get maybe a new summon, you know, that could tie in with the story, because there's another theory out there that Sora is actually sleeping still, mainly because look at all his summons in the game. They're all staticky and fuzzy and everything, and the only summon that's not fuzzy and staticky is his Cheerthy. Sora could be dreaming in Kingdom Hearts 3, and Nomura is telling us, but not really, you know, because look at the game. And then it would be cool if we actually play the part when Sora disappears, you know, before he comes back to the realm of light and he tries to save Kairi. And I would like to see that part when he does save Kairi. Maybe with the whole Remind DLC stuff, maybe we will get that. Maybe we will see Sora saving Kairi and having that big giant Kefka fight that I'm not gonna be like, oh, I want it so bad, and if it doesn't happen, fuck you, Square. No, I'm not gonna say that. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But if it does happen, Square Enix took a great opportunity to do it, because it fits with the Kefka character, and it fits what Sora went through in Kingdom Hearts 3 at the end, you know? And wouldn't it make sense, too, if Sora actually went through Kefka before he got Kairi? That's just me, and it makes sense for Kefka's character, especially at the end of Final Fantasy VI. So, tell me what you guys think. If you think this is pretty cool, or pretty flawed, or you would like to see Kefka in a Kingdom Hearts game. So, there you go. And yes, mainly the reasons why I even made this video, because I do want Kefka in the Kingdom Hearts game. And would it be in Kingdom Hearts 3? I hope so. Fingers crossed, you know. I'm not going to hold my breath. Come on, Square! I'm dying! Anyways, but yeah, that's really it. See you guys. Take care.
This is TheSkullKlown signing off. Have a nice day.